people have gone to like the Asian countries, they've
Yeah.
said the jet lag has been worse, but they said, oh, only because it was a longer journey. So they think that coming back is a shorter journey. And that is, I think another thing I would normally advise is don't nap during the day when you've arrived. Don't nap. That is the killer of your sleep. If you haven't slept for 2 days and you're really, really struggling, you could end up maybe.
Welcome to Consultation Room Podcast.
Hello and welcome back. Now, have you ever landed in a new time zone and felt like your body was out of place? Like your body didn't just get the memo? That is what we like to call jet lag. Today's episode is all about unpacking why jet lag hits so hard, what it's really doing, and of course, how to fight back. We will cover the do's and definitely the don'ts to stop jet lag from stealing your sunshine, literally. So buckle up, it's going to be a bumpy and sleepy ride. So just as a start, Steph, what exactly is the definition of jet lag? What does jet lag really mean?
Jet lag is basically that feeling of like grogginess, a bit disorientated, feeling wide awake. Probably at 3 a.m. you're wondering, why am I still awake, you know? It's basically your body's internal clock, or what we like to call the circadian rhythm. It's basically it struggling to keep up with the sudden time zone changes, as Trudy mentioned. If you look at how the day works, we have 24 hours in a day, and what our body does in a day, it does so much during 24 hours. So like regulating hormones, sleep, digestion, and even our mood. But then when you, for instance, you fly long distances, especially if you're like east or west, or and like your eternal clock falls out of sync with the new local time, that's when it brings upon like these symptoms. So if, for instance, like you've landed in, where's far, Trudy? Like New Zealand or Australia or something.
New Zealand.
Traveling from and you feel like a zombie. Yes, that is normal. That's basically your body telling you that it's out of sync, you know? It's normal. So don't worry. It's just our circadian rhythm just waving a white flag saying, yes, I'm out of sync, you know, I need a bit of rest, that sort of thing. Yeah.
Exactly.
So that's basically what jet lag is. So I mentioned like a few symptoms. Do you mind just going through some of the symptoms that someone might feel if they have jet lag?
We can definitely go through that. Now, as you said, it's because of that being out of sync. And normally when you're out of sync with anything, even with shift work, what is normally affected first is your sleep. So you find that you can't sleep very, very well. So insomnia is one of the main symptoms of jet lag. So it's 9 o'clock. Normally at 9 o'clock you're in bed and you're sound. 9 o'clock, nothing. 10, 11, 12, 1 a.m., you're struggling to sleep. That is one of the symptoms of jet lag. Another symptom of jet lag is daytime drowsiness. So you find it that you've got to Miami, you've got to New Zealand, but during the day, you're so drowsy. You're supposed to be going on an excursion, but no, you're so drowsy. It's almost like you just want to sleep. That is a symptom of jet lag. So again, as Steph, as you explained, it's that being out of sync. So it's almost like your body is confused. Are we not supposed to be sleeping now? Because back home, it's nighttime. So what is going on here? You know, so there is that sort of being out of sync that causes sort of daytime drowsiness. Another symptom of jet lag is headaches. Again, because of this confusion, you know, of your rhythm, it will affect the brain and it will bring about headache. So you'll feel like you just have this headache that's not going. That is a symptom of jet lag. Or you get to your destination, you're thinking, oh my God, I've got a banging headache. I don't know what's happening. You are going through jet lag. You're suffering from jet lag. That is also a very known symptom of jet lag. Another known symptom of jet lag is concentration. troubled concentration. So you find that you can't concentrate on something. You're supposed to be, I don't know, writing an email, a very important email, and you just can't concentrate to try and sort of like just, finish this email, or just little things that you normally very sort of good at, sort of like just putting your mind into and finishing. You're really struggling on some of these things.
Yeah.
If it's sort of like you've come from holiday, you've come from New Zealand, you're now in the UK, and your work, you would find that maybe you're finding it so hard to just try to remember some basic things. That is a symptom of jet lag. Another common symptom of jet lag is just extreme tiredness. So you just find you're so tired. You might have actually slept through the whole flight, but you're still very tired. That is a very common symptom of jet lag. Now, talking about, of course, sleeping through the flight, we will get into that, but that is that can cause, of course, worsening of jet lag. But we'll get into that shortly. But yes, extreme tiredness is a symptom of jet lag. And also some people experience mood changes. So it's almost like, you don't know who you are, Like you're normally this happy, chappy guy or girl, and all of a sudden you're just moody, you're just not yourself. Mood changes can be a very big symptom or a sign of jet lag. Another thing also some people experience is upset stomach. So they just feel like the stomach is not right. You know how we always talk about the gut and brain connection? That could be one of the things. So it's almost like your body, your stomach is not really adjusted to all of these changes, and the gut microbiome is not really liking this. So you just find that you have this stomach upset, and that can actually be one of the symptoms of jet lag. Some people experience a loss of appetite or change in appetite. So things that you normally enjoy, you normally by, 6 o'clock, you have your meal, you have your dinner, and you eat, you have your steak, or if you're a vegan, you have your tofu, and you're enjoying it. But now it's almost like, you just don't want to eat these things. It's like you can't tell what it is that you want to eat. It's just your appetite is not the same. That can be a symptom of jet lag. One thing I'd also like to mention is some people experience memory issues. So it's almost like you can't remember. I mean, part of concentration is, this is part of concentration as well, but they just experience memory issues. Like you get to work, maybe that person, if you've listened to our episode on forgetfulness, maybe the person who was calling me Trisha had just come from a long holiday. They just come from New Zealand. That's what they were calling me, Trisha, because it's almost like you can't really remember this person's name, even though they keep telling you it. You can't remember basic things. It's like, wait, where do we normally do this? How do we normally do this? You're struggling with some of these things. That is one of the other signs or symptom of jet lag. These are the very common ones. Some people experience nausea. Some people even experience vomiting. But these are the very common ones. Unless there's any stuff that you have come across that I haven't mentioned.
You've basically been through it. I was just thinking, like, how do I normally feel? Literally, like lack of sleep. You feel tired.
Exactly.
And that thing you said about loss of appetite, I'm like, that is actually really true. Because there are times where maybe when you land here, you're like, wait, hold on. Like
I'm not
if I
hungry.
was back home, like no, it's not even like if I was back home, it'll probably be like midnight and I should be sleeping. Why should I even be eating? It's like your brain like
No, you
telling
don't even think about that, but you're not hungry. Like you're not your
hungry.
body's
Exactly.
it's almost like you're not hungry, and it's like you can't tell why is it that you're not hungry. Like hold on, it's morning here, I should be having breakfast, but I don't really feel like having breakfast. So it's strange how the body works, isn't it?
I know, our body's amazing.
We've talked about some of the symptoms. Is there any way of avoiding some of these symptoms, or avoiding jet lag as a whole? Is there any way, that anything that people can do before traveling that they can avoid jet lag?
Okay. I mean, jet lag, I feel like it's inevitable, if you are traveling the long haul. But as Trudy mentioned, there are some things that we can do just to prevent you from like maybe even suffering for long, or maybe help you recover a bit quicker.
Quicker, yeah.
So I like to say, make sure you prepare before you travel. So what I mean by that, let's say for instance, you're traveling a long distance or even traveling across time zones. Maybe gradually shift your sleeping pattern, like your
Yes.
sleeping schedule, just a few days before you travel,
Mm-hmm.
just so that your body can get used to it.
Yeah.
So if maybe you're traveling, I don't know, to the east or something, maybe you have to go to bed earlier or you have to go
Mm-hmm.
to bed a bit later.
Yeah.
Do that, yeah. And light as well, light exposure is key.
Mm.
Light is a powerful signal to reset our body. When your
Yeah.
body sees light, it's like, oh, okay, it's daytime, it's
Yeah.
time to work, that sort of
Yeah.
thing. So,
Yeah.
again, if you're going to be traveling and
Yeah.
you're going to be reaching your destination where it's going to be daytime during that time, maybe you need
Yeah.
to expose yourself to a bit of light, before you
Mm.
go. And if the destination you're arriving to is going to be probably evening time by the time you arrive or something,
Yeah.
maybe a bit less exposure to light,
Yes.
that may help.
Yeah.
So these two things, like tweaking your sleeping pattern and light exposure, I think they're very handy when it comes to preparing yourself before you travel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those are key things that I would say you can do.
Yeah.
Obviously, I would also say maybe plan your journey, because
Mm.
let's say for instance you're traveling a long flight, but by the time you arrive it's gonna be, I don't know, time to sleep at your destination. There's no point in you sleeping all the way through your flight if by the time you get to your destination it's time to sleep. That's gonna mess you up. So planning your journey is also very important. It's very important. And I know it's easier said than done, but pop some movie on or something, put on your
Yeah.
favorite podcast and just listen to it just to help
Consultational
you.
podcast.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also stay hydrated. Hydration is key. Like I always say hydration is like really helpful when it comes to a lot of things. But if you keep yourself hydrated and hydrated with water, not with like caffeine or booze, because caffeine and alcohol, they really disrupt your sleep and they can basically mess you up and make your jet lag prolong a bit longer and just mess up your body rhythm. Yeah. But these are the main tips I would give to prepare yourself or to reduce jet lag. Apart from that, do you have any tips? Because you are a traveler and I'm welcome to hear your tips.
Some of my tips. I have to tell
Yes.
you, actually, I don't
Mm.
suffer from jet lag.
No way.
I don't suffer from jet lag. I don't know what it
Wow.
is, but there's just something about my body. I just
Okay.
don't suffer from jet lag. Now that I've said I've jinxed it, I bet you the next time I'm traveling, I'll be like, hold on, why did I go ahead and open my big mouth?
Yeah.
I should have just been quiet and I'd be fine. But I
Wow.
actually don't suffer from jet lag. Maybe I do
Mm.
things without even realizing that I'm doing these things, and maybe these things
Yeah.
help. Maybe that's days that I don't know. But I don't
Yeah.
actually. I've never suffered from jet lag. I have traveled as far as Bali, which is very sort of east. And they say, of course, west to east gives sort of more of a severe jet lag. You get more of a
Yeah.
severe jet lag if you're traveling from west to east. I got to Bali, and I've said this in one of the other episodes. I got to Bali and I was like, give me that coconut. I need to be sleeping a coconut.
Wow.
There was no time to be sleeping. There was no time to be out here being tired, being nauseous. I've not come all the way across the world to be sleeping. Okay, maybe there's that mindset as well. I have the right mindset
I
to start
think you
with.
do. Yes.
I think that's it. Have the right mindset.
I see.
What I always say as well is avoid heavy meals, because when you're having heavy meals, as much as we also say caffeine and alcoholic drinks do mess up your circadian rhythm and your sleep, heavy meals
Yeah.
as well. So avoid heavy meals, especially just before travel. There's people who are like, oh, I'm going to feast before my journey. No, just eat enough. And it's so weird. Have you ever actually realized that the amount of food they give you on a plane is never that much. It's almost like Michelin star amount, like just little, but it's enough for you.
Yeah, but I hardly
So,
eat like on the plane, to be honest. I like
yeah,
to
but
just watch
either way, the amount they
movies.
give is
Yeah.
so little because I'm sure they have thought about these things in place. You know, a heavy meal will just make you feel, you know, just full and sluggish, and you know, you won't be able to rest very well. By the time you get to your destination, you will just not be rested, and you know, jet lag will hit you. So avoid heavy meals. That's very, very important. And it's weird because I don't think I actually ever eat as such before traveling. Like I'll have like a meal. I don't know if I'm traveling at, I don't know, like a midday. I'll have breakfast and then that's about it. And then on the flight, I mean, when I traveled to Bali, I didn't eat for 24 hours because they didn't have any vegan meal. Even though I put down that I'm vegan, they starved me. Okay. I'm not going to mention that airline, but I've not flown with them since. But
I mentioned them.
yes. But yeah, so Callum, you know what you did. But
Good.
yeah, I didn't, maybe that actually helped. I didn't eat. I did drink. I did hydrate loads, but I did not really eat. And I had like a bottle with me, a water bottle that kept refilling. But I didn't eat really. I think I had like maybe a snack with me, but that's all I had for the full whatever. And I felt okay. So I think that's very, very important. But I'd also say when you get on a flight, they normally give you a face mask, earplugs, all of these things. Most people just chuck them or they just put them, you know, they sit in front like, why do I need this? They do that for a reason, okay?
Yeah.
Those earplugs and that face mask is supposed to help you with sleep because you're not sleeping on a bed, okay? I know that some of you fly first class or business class and you can recline that chair nicely. I get it. But it's not the same as your bed either way. You know, unless you're on one of those Qatar Q suites, you know, that you get a proper bed. Either way, it's not your bed. It might be bumpy. You might need to wake up a few times. So for that reason, you need to try and help yourself rest as much as possible. So if it means putting that face mask, if it means putting those earplugs to help reduce, of course, the noise and any sort of light or anything like that, that would come in handy. So these are things that I would normally recommend that you can do as well. And also just stretching when you're in the cabin, especially if it's a long journey. So just getting up and just keeping sort of like a little active. Don't exercise, okay? Don't be doing push-ups in the cabin, okay? And saying, well, I was told this. No, we're not saying that. Just keep a little active. So walk up and down the cabin just to get that blood flowing as well. Because sometimes these people who sit down the whole entire 10 hours, they don't even go to the toilet. And I don't know how they do that. But that is not going to help you. Walk around a little bit. But if it is time to sleep, try get enough sleep. So if in your destination, so you're headed to New Zealand, if when you're on that flight for a good maybe 6 hours, in New Zealand it's nighttime, I would recommend getting those 6 hours of sleep. And then when it's time to wake up, because it's now, I don't know, 8 a.m. in New Zealand, wake up and get a movie and just put on the movie. Don't be doing these 30-minute naps, 20-minute naps. That's not going to help. But yeah, those are the things I do.
Okay.
But I also do actually some things when I get to my destination, and maybe that actually helps me. So if I've got somewhere and it's daytime, I never have a nap, I never sleep. You know how you get to the destination, you're like, okay, now I'm here. It's day one. Let me just rest a little bit. No. I'm going to shower and I'm going to go out. Or I'm going to go ahead and do what I need to do on day one. That actually does help because it's almost like you're getting already in tune with the local time. And you're almost readjusting your circadian rhythm. So that is one of the things I do. Another thing I do when I arrive is I drink plenty, and I mean plenty of water, because people don't realize this, but they're like the cabin, like the flight can be so, like the air there can be so drying, so dehydrating. And you'll end up getting so dehydrated that you don't realize that you're actually so dehydrated and you need water. So hydrating is so important. And I also always say, if you've maybe got there in the morning, go for a little walk, go for a morning walk, let that sun hit you. Because what normally happens is, and I think we kind of, Dr. Gadoni must have mentioned in the episode when we were talking about seasonal affective disorder, about melatonin. Okay, so melatonin is a hormone that your body naturally produces, and this normally helps with promoting sleep. And it's normally released in high levels during the night, and then of course lower levels during the day. So you're still producing melatonin during the day, but high levels in the night. So you want to go out in the sun, out in the daylight, for your body to almost get that signal. It is daytime, so don't produce too much melatonin because it's not nighttime. So go for that morning walk. And then, of course, in the night, get back in. 6 o'clock, get back in. Let the body, have the idea that, okay, it's nighttime now. So I need to be producing more melatonin.
Yeah.
Because what happens is, from what I understand normally, is when the light hits the retina, which is the eye, a signal is normally transmitted to a part of the brain that coordinates rhythms, and this is including the circadian rhythm. So during the day, you want to get as much of that sun as possible, because when you're out there and the sun is hitting you, you're suppressing the melatonin. So that is very, very important. But I think another thing I would normally advise is don't nap during the day when you've arrived. Don't nap. That is the killer of your sleep. So that is very, very important. You can avoid jet lag, or at least you can tackle jet lag.
Yeah.
What about treatment, Steph? Is there any treatment? Like if someone came to the pharmacy, they say, I've tried all of this. It's day 2. I am still jet lagged. What am I doing?
You mentioned melatonin, and melatonin can help reset your body clock. So there are some melatonin supplements available. So if you're someone that is still struggling to get back into rhythm and stuff, you can by all means consider melatonin supplements just to reset your body clock. But apart from melatonin, I don't know, is there anything else you can think of?
I would say maybe they need to also just watch their night routine. Like, what are they doing at night to also help the body relax enough for you to sleep? Because I don't know about you, but there was a one of the patients who normally comes to the pharmacy every day, but it was a Tuesday, so she didn't. So she comes in Monday to Friday, and she comes in first thing in the morning on a Monday. She didn't come in on a Monday, and I was like, let's call her Grace. We'll go with Grace. Okay. I was trying to think of a name. So I was like, where's Grace today? Grace is not here. It's a Monday. She literally comes in as soon as I walk in.
Yeah.
End of day on a Monday, Grace was not there. Tuesday, I'm like, because she comes in every day to collect her medication. She collects on a daily basis. Tuesday, she's not there. First thing in the morning, I'm thinking, I don't know what's going on. And it's not like her. Like, I have been working in this pharmacy for so many years, on and off. And every time I've worked in this pharmacy, every day with no fail, at 8 o'clock, as soon as we open, 8:05 marks, she's there. So I'm thinking, Tuesday, she's not there. What's going on? Okay. She comes in Tuesday afternoon around 3 o'clock. And she's like, oh my God, Trudy, you won't believe this. I've been asleep since Sunday. What? I'm not joking. I was like, what? You've been asleep since Sunday? What do you mean? I mean, she does take some sleeping tablets. She takes clone, but still, she has been asleep since Sunday.
What?
Surely there must have been something else.
Yeah.
Now, I never knew up until she told me, and this is very recent. I'm talking the last couple of months, like this has happened. So I never knew someone could sleep through days.
I didn't think so,
I didn't think so, until this happened. So the reason I'm saying this is there is remedies that you can do to help with sleep. Of course, if you come to the pharmacy and maybe we don't feel comfortable enough to give you something like melatonin supplements or anything like that, because you might go somewhere maybe melatonin supplements are not available, go see your doctor, see if maybe they can give you some treatment temporarily. Or even if you can get something like Nital Herbal, I would actually recommend something like Nital Herbal because it's a herbal remedy that just helps ease you into sleep in the night, as opposed to going for medicated tablets or capsules, or just basically medication. So try, I would say, herbal remedies, because if you haven't, you struggle to sleep, chances are, if you haven't slept for 2 days and you're really, really struggling, you could end up maybe taking something like this lady and sleeping for another 2 days. Okay. I didn't think this was possible. you know,
Yeah.
until it happened, I'm like, this could
Yeah.
happen. So to try to avoid that, maybe just try ease yourself
Yeah.
with sort of like herbal ways. You know, just
Mm.
watch your sleep hygiene. We have talked
It's
about sleep
true.
hygiene stuff before,
Yeah.
haven't we?
Exactly, exactly. And one thing people have to remember is that jet lag is not forever, you know, it will
That's
go
it.
on its own.
Few
So you
days.
just need to
Yeah.
give it time and just rest up,
Mm.
or, you know, just rest up when you need to rest up, or just withhold that nap if you need to withhold that nap and sleep when it's appropriate. So just always remember that jet lag is not going to last forever, okay? And yeah, wait until it's really, really like getting
Really
under your skin.
bad. Like
Yeah.
3 days, you haven't slept for
Yeah,
3 days.
exactly.
Then come in and maybe we can look at
That's
medication.
it.
But to be fair, if like you've not slept the first night, the second night, most people come in and they want something, medicated straight away.
Mm,
Have you looked at maybe what you're doing? Is there something you could be
mhm,
doing to help ease you into sleep? Are your
exactly.
curtains, blackout curtains? What are you eating before bed?
Yeah.
Are you going for these walks during the day?
Mhm,
Because you want to go for these walks during the day, as opposed to
mm,
having a nap during the day. Because again, that's another mistake people make, where they have these
mm,
naps during the day. So you take your body, your body's already confused enough. You're confusing it even more. I thought we're back home. We did go for a walk today, so it is daytime, but then we're
mm,
sleeping now. Is it nighttime? Do you know what I mean?
mm.
So you
Yeah.
want to almost help your body as much as it's helping you.
Yeah.
So it's very, very important. I'd say the first thing before you go for medication, melatonin is available. Melatonin supplements are available. Melatonin in the
Yeah.
UK is only available on prescription. You can't get melatonin without prescription. So
Yeah.
bearing that in mind, you are already producing a natural melatonin in your body. So that should ideally be enough to help you, especially if you're producing high amounts during the night. That should be enough to
Mm,
help you. But of course, some people have suppressed amounts of melatonin, and that's why they maybe might go on melatonin capsules or tablets. But you could get, I'd say, maybe supplements just to help with sleep as opposed to medication.
mm.
Have you heard any myths, Steph, when it comes to jet lag? Is there anything that someone has said to you that you've been like, I am not too sure about that?
Let me see. When it comes to myths, I think the only myth I can think about, or about jet lag and traveling, let's just say, is basically sometimes some people say like if you're traveling like a long journey, you have to stay
Mm,
awake all throughout the flight.
mm,
But
mm,
no, as I
no.
mentioned, it all depends on like where you're traveling to, what time you're gonna arrive there, like,
Yes.
you know. So just watch your time zones and stuff, and if you need to sleep or nap, that sort of thing. It
Yeah.
doesn't mean that you have to stay awake all the way through, or it doesn't mean that you have to, sleep all the way through. Just you have to time yourself, yeah, and just plan strategically as to how you're going to fly, yeah. But I can't think of any other, yeah. Do you have any?
Well, what
Hmm.
I've heard is people have said, especially people who have gone, say, from west to east, so people have gone to like the Asian countries, they've
Yeah.
said the jet lag has been worse, but they said, oh, only because it was a longer journey. So they think
Mm.
that coming back is a shorter journey, and that is
I
actually not the
see.
case. It's not because it's a longer journey. The pilots don't go around the globe just to go to Vietnam, and then when they're coming
Mm.
back, they do a shortcut straight into London. It doesn't work
Yeah.
that way.
Mm.
Experts have said that when you're flying eastward, so of course from the west to the east, you might experience severe jet lag for the simple reason that your body can actually adapt more quickly to staying up late than going
Mm.
to bed early. So normally, when you're traveling eastward, it's almost like you're having a long day. Because of the time zone and the changes, you're having a longer day. When you're coming back, almost gaining time. Yeah, you're gaining time. So because of that, your body is adapting quickly to having a longer day, because your body can adapt quickly and easier to staying up
Mm.
late. I don't know about you, Steph, but I am not a morning person. But when it comes to nighttime, if I have to stay up late, I'll be late. I'll be up at 1 a.m. But when it comes to when it comes to waking up early, oh, I'm gonna struggle, and that's why it becomes
Yeah,
severe jet lag, because we all struggle with sort of getting up early as opposed to maybe sleeping
exactly.
late. So
Mm-hmm.
that is more of an explanation.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's all about sort of like, where you're gaining time
Yeah.
as opposed to losing time. That makes a
Mm-hmm.
difference. But that's all I've
Yeah.
heard. People have just said that, it was a longer journey, as in, we went around the globe, but that's not really the case. It's just your body is adjusting differently to sort of losing
Yeah.
time and gaining time.
I
But no,
see.
that's what I've heard when it comes to jet lag. Nothing else. Do you have any funny stories about jet lag?
Do I have any funny stories? I'm trying to think. I don't think I have any funny stories, but I just remember there was one time I was so tired,
Yeah.
like after traveling, because it was such a long flight.
Yeah.
I just couldn't do anything. I think it was my brother's wedding or something like that. I was like, okay, I need to
Right.
sleep. I just said good night to everyone, locked my door, and just went straight to bed and woke up the next day. I
You didn't
felt
sleep
so
for
good.
4 hours, for 4 days, sorry.
No, like I was so jet lagged, like I was so tired, and like people were still socializing. It was my brother's wedding. People were socializing, but I was like, no, I'm not gonna socialize. I'm just gonna go straight to bed because I was
What
so
time was
tired.
that?
It was like it was around the afternoon, like afternoon. Was it afternoon? Yeah, like around the
Yeah.
afternoon, going to evening
Okay.
time. But yeah, I was too tired.
And did that sort out your jet lag? Do you think that
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
like
yeah. I
sort of,
was
when you woke up, you're
tired. I
fine?
needed
Okay.
it. I needed
Okay.
that sleep. I needed
Okay.
it. Yeah, needed
Interesting.
it. What about you?
No, I actually don't. As I said, I don't really get jet lag, but now that I've
Mm.
literally said it, I've jinxed myself. And I know that the next journey, especially the next long
Mm.
haul I do, I'm probably going to be so jet lagged. But I
Yeah.
don't get jet lagged. I don't know what it is. Like, I will get to a
Wow.
destination and, it's daytime and I'm up, like I'm ready, I'm
Wow.
energetic. Or if it's
I need your
nighttime, it's like,
body.
all right, I'll shower and then I'll go to bed. I don't know what it is. I don't
Mm.
know what it is. I think my body just adjusts so well. Maybe
Yeah.
because I've crossed so many time zones, it's like my body's so used to it that it knows to adjust. I honestly don't know. My melatonin must be doing what it needs to do. So,
That's
oh,
nice.
bless.
Hmm.
Okay, well, I
Mm.
guess that is everything when it comes to jet lag. But of
Yeah.
course, if there's any questions, we're always happy to take questions.
Thank you for tuning in today. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Remember, a healthy chat is a step towards a healthy life.
If you have any topics you'd like us to discuss, drop us an email at consultationroompod@gmail.com. Our Instagram is @consultationroompod. See you next week. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay blessed.